I always thought of Spain as the source of why my people's history changed forever. But what happens when a country that was known for colonizing the world turns out to be colonized itself?
This is where the Sultan used to sit. For example, I didn't expect to see Costco here.
Living in Spain, I saw traces of another history, a Spain that was once colonized,
You wouldn't think this is Spain.
but also one that's being colonized today.
Of record levels of tourism.
Some locals want to see fewer visitors.
Because locals say that tourism to this country has gotten out of control. And we can't find a place to live.
Spain's history isn't just about conquest, it's also about being conquered. And in today's episode of The Social Script, you'll find out how I, myself, am colonizing them.
I don't understand why people are still living in America.
Growing number of Americans that's saying that they're ready to move to another country.
So Sushu told me that this Alhambra place is one of the most visited tourist spots in the whole world. The spot where the Islamic rule ended here in Spain. This was the last city they gave up before it went back to Christianity. The Crusades are seen as one of the most atrocious things you've ever done in human history. And to be fair, it is.
The Crusades belong in their own category.
The most shameful undertaking by our species.
But the part that many of us don't know is that some crusades take back land from another conqueror who had been occupying it for 800 years. Our story starts in the 8th century with the Umayyads. The Umayyads were a dynasty of Arab caliphs who conquered the Visigothic kingdom of Hispania, what today is Spain and Portugal. From 711 to 1031, they imposed the Islamic rule on the Iberian Peninsula and called it Al-Andalus, Andalucía. In these ruins, a couple caliphs ran a society that only lasted like 80 years, but they built this whole Muslim little city, which is now in ruins that they have preserved. I get why this is such a big tourist attraction because it's honestly one of the prettiest places I've ever been to.
Me too, and I like us painted like mosaics here. It's so cute too, and like matching.
This was the beginning of the end right here. So once the Nasrid dynasty ended here in Alhambra and the Christian monarchs took over, they made Charles V the king, and he built a palace right here where it all ended. The Christians pulled in Avengers, and they literally assembled. As colonizers do, they wanted to impose their rule. I find it interesting though that the Christian kings vibed so much with the Muslim architecture and culture that they kept some parts of it alive. For example, Alhambra and even Jewish synagogues and neighborhood names like La Juderia. Yo, we're in this gift shop and look what I just saw. What shocked me most was how museums and sites gloss over the violence that the Reconquista caused. They might mention that a building was once a synagogue or mosque, but they rarely explore how the Jewish and Muslim communities were expelled and erased through La Reconquista. It's almost like Spain wants to celebrate their diversity without reckoning the violence that shaped it. See that right there? That's where Christopher Columbus is buried. Should I spit on his grave?
Yeah.
Okay. As a mestizo, I'm descendant from both colonizer and colonized. But seeing Spain's Muslim history reveals a deeper irony. My colonizer was also shaped by being conquered. However, you'll be surprised by how differently we viewed our mixed colonized identity in America compared to Spain. And even more surprised to find out they are like the Latinos of Europe. I asked my Spanish friends if they identify with Arab or Muslim culture and history at all, and the answer was always a solid no.
Bueno, creo que la razón por la que los españoles no nos sentimos mestizos por completo, aunque lo seamos, podría ser porque nunca se dio una erradicación total de la identidad, ya que nunca se dio una subyugación completa del territorio español. Hasta la total reconquista de los españoles en 1492.
But even though they won't claim their Muslim heritage as much as Hispanics do with their colonizer, you can feel it and experience it in their culture. Flamenco, for example, the most well-known type of music of Spain, was heavily influenced by the Moors in Al-Andalus. The Islamic influence of Spain can even be witnessed in their language, where about 8% of the words come from Arabic origins. Azúcar, aceite, albahaca, arroz. Fuck, now I'm hungry.
You would think this is somewhere else in the world, but it's Spain.
While Spain was once a global empire, I kept hearing something surprising from locals. Northern Europeans see Spain the way Spaniards see Latin America, culturally inferior. And these power dynamics definitely shape identity. I mean, it even happens in our own culture in South America where we think something Spaniard is worth more than something indigenous. It's fascinating to see how these hierarchies persist. Even within Europe, there's a sort of ranking system of who's seen as better. But I mean, it's Europe. Can you expect anything more from Europe? As I walked through modern Spain, I started seeing signs of a new kind of colonization. And this time, I wasn't just observing it, I was part of it. I saw protests against tourists, signs in windows saying tourists go home, and yet, there I was. I went to Spain to learn about its history and do a master's, but I found myself entangled in a new form of colonization, one I wasn't prepared for. As I was walking the streets and historical sites of Spain, I started picking up on something. Outside of their most important sites, there was either a McDonald's, Starbucks, Burger King, or Taco Bell. It felt very out of place next to ancient architecture.
This historical cathedral in Sevilla faces a New York slice pizzeria, and it's the best slice we had in Spain.
It's ironic, Spain's cities shaped by centuries of colonization are now being reshaped by global economics and mass tourism. And I'm a part of that. Barcelona, for example, is a perfect case study. Tourists like me drive up rents, displace locals, and even replace local culture with global brands. They even sprayed tourists with water last year in efforts to deter them away. As an Ecuadorian, I spent my whole life thinking how colonization shaped me. But now I'm grappling with my new role in a new form of colonization. One that's less about empires and more about economics. Beyond tourism, our friend also mentioned that Latinos are doing a reverse colonization, that you can hear reggaeton everywhere now, and that Latinos are taking over food and culture.
Las canciones que más se cantan en una discoteca en España.
Am I justified in colonizing them after they've colonized my people and stolen our gold? One could say they taught me well.
I'm starting to feel like they don't feel bad for their colonization. Look at the Santa Maria, they even made a model out of it.
But in some way, I'm also them, right? I mean, that's what a mestizo is. I'm a mix between them and indigenous. But they were already a mix, so I'm a mix of a mix of a mix. But it gets more complex.
So inside these caves, there were families who lived here for a while.
And they share my last name.
There was a woman looked very similar to my dad and to me. So I'm kind of freaked out.
You said Carrillo? Carrillo, that's my people. What the?
That discovery sent me down a rabbit hole.
Learning about my family's own last name's ties to Spanish nobility. I already saw myself as half colonized, half colonizer, but this added a new layer of complexity. Suddenly, I wasn't just mestizo. I was tied to Spanish elites, a legacy of dominance I wasn't familiar with before. So can I be in Spain, ethically? Am I a colonizer through gentrification? I don't have the answer to this question, and I'm still unpacking how my existence and desires are affecting those that, even though have colonized, are now being colonized themselves. It's like Spain keeps getting conquered by different people. It was like the Muslims in one century, then the French, and now me. I think there's only one thing left to do. How do I reconcile my history of being colonized with my role as a modern colonizer? Can we exist in these spaces without causing harm, without gentrifying them?
Just love the lifestyle here. I like that they live slower. They value different things and like beyond money.
It's like, it's so walkable. Look at this shit, bro. Like, literally.
But just because I enjoy their places and locations doesn't mean I have the right to take it from them. So, where does that leave me now? There's only one option left.
This question isn't just about Spain, it's global. What even is a gentrifier? Who is and who isn't one? I think we need to expand beyond these terms if we ever want to solve this issue. But that topic is big and it's for another video. For now, I want to know what you think. Do you think modern tourism is a form of neo-colonization? Why? Why not? How do we navigate living and traveling to places where that might be affecting the local problems people face? Comment below. I would really like to know what you think, especially if you live in Spain. Like, subscribe, you know the deal.